Hi, this is CrackBall Gaming and welcome to our channel. Today we're talking about PlayStation and their massive new reveal on their price, their launch date, and some new games.
Just about damn time that we get this information. We've been waiting forever.
Pre-orders have been a mess so far.
Well, I don't think they're supposed to go live until tomorrow. This is the day of the press conference, so I think a lot of retailers got a little twitchy on the button.
Some social media guy named Daryl just saw the announcement and clicked the button to activate the pre-orders.
So we don't have any pre-orders yet. Sorry, we're gonna try one at every store we can find.
Yeah, we're just gonna
have to get 3. Oh my god! All right, so I wanted to start off this discussion by going around and seeing what really impacted you. What were the big standouts of this show? Who wants to go first?
I vote Nuke.
Oh man,
I vote big.
Who do you vote, Nuke?
I vote Itty.
God damn
Mexican
it!
standoff.
All right, fine. I'll take one for the team here,
Man,
and I'll
easy.
go first. Some standout.
Nope, give me your standout. Don't give some.
Okay,
Just
take
one.
'em all
of them. I mean, one of them.
Okay. My biggest standout happened at the end. It
Okay.
was God of War.
Oh,
Yes.
the music sent chills down my spine.
Yes.
Prepare yourself, boy.
And I'm very excited because they said it's coming in 2021.
Everything's coming in 2021.
Except for, all the games suddenly listed as release date on retailers.
Don't believe any of that yet.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see what happens.
All right, Big.
Well, my standout moment for me was the announcement of a PlayStation Plus bundle or a
Collection.
game collection.
PlayStation
a game,
Collection.
A game library you get completely free with PlayStation Plus that includes games like God of War, Fallout 4, Persona 5, Final Fantasy 15. The list goes on.
Mortal Kombat 10.
Kombat 10, yep.
The Last Guardian.
1.
It includes so many games that I have not been able to experience, and I am finally able to play God of War.
Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I went through
It's not the best
and
one, but
I counted up how many games are going to be in this collection. 18. 18 high quality games. These are not like cheap throwaway games.
No, those are all like...
These are good games.
These are all big games.
So that
Persona
is
5,
amazing.
and this all comes out day and date with the PS5. So what do I get to play day and date with the PS5 purchase? Maybe if we can get through God of War, Persona 5, Final Fantasy 15, all of these amazing games
Yeah.
that I wouldn't get to play otherwise.
So that was pretty big. So I had Final Fantasy 16. Mm-hmm. That one, I mean, they led the show off with that.
Yeah, that was
And
pretty awesome.
I'm going to be honest. I've played a lot of Final Fantasy. I rarely fully understand what the hell's going on in Final Fantasy, but it is always awesome whatever is going on. And the summons, I don't know if they're summons. But we saw Ifrit,
Titan, Shiva.
yeah, and they looked
amazing.
And then
that game is just eye candy all over the place.
well, some of the character models of the people, maybe,
Okay, yeah.
but that is.
And you had your quality Square Enix Japanese trailer lip syncing going on.
Well, and I
yeah.
have to say,
See-
those
See Kingdom
chocobo-
Hearts 3 trailer for other examples.
I was gonna say those chocobos looked tight.
Well, they went to Chocobos quick. I was like, oh my god,
did.
that's
Of
Final
course.
Fantasy right away. Now I haven't watched it again, but I swear it almost looked in one part like a fireball was shooting out of the mouth of a Chocobo.
Oh.
I don't think
Well,
so.
yeah,
I think I
we'll
saw
need
that
to-
wrong, but it just looked like my brain went, what?
Fire breathing chocobos.
I'm on board with fire breathing
yeah,
chocobos.
I'll take it.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool. I actually like that they're going back to the Final Fantasy theme, because
It didn't look as modern. Right?
all the recent ones, like 15, had cars and gas stations and phones and weird stuff that, doesn't really fit with the fantasy part of that name.
Well, fantasy can be anything.
Yeah, but that was just really
There's
weird.
a lot of
It was
people that
weird.
have car fans.
And then
they had
13.
and they had an obsession with food in that one too.
Final Fantasy 13 was even weirder, though.
Okay.
That's
so
besides
I
the
do
point.
want to give a special shout out to not a big surprise, because we knew about it, Deathloop, and it did get delayed to second quarter of 2021. However, that trailer floored me because I didn't understand what Deathloop was trying to do with their first trailer. It just looked kind of stylistic. That trailer, what they showed was essentially you're playing a Groundhog's Day kind of thing, right? You die and you start back from the beginning. However, it looks like the objective, potentially, is to get 8 people, the major targets, all in the same area by the end of the day or something, and kill them there. And it's like, they basically showed like one of this guy, he's not going to go to the party he's supposed to go to because he's inventing something, has an experiment, is really excited about it, so he doesn't go. So you have to interrupt that and do something to derail it so he will be at the party. It didn't even
Because he's a depressed drunk if he doesn't get the experiment done.
Right. But what was cool was it's like, I thought you'd just go and these are bosses you'd have to kill at different times of the day or whatever. And it sounds like maybe you can't do that because you have to actually do them all at once.
They're more like puzzles to get the piece where you can finally kill them all at the end of the day.
Right. And it looks like what you might have to do is actually plan out your entire day, figuring out the first part, then the next part, then the next part,
Better
then the
get
next
some
part.
paper to take
and then
notes.
figure out how to get the whole thing to go together to beat the game or something.
That did make it look so much more interesting
Yes.
to me. And on top of that, you've got somebody hunting you. So it's in addition to trying to corral
there's
these
pressure.
8 people, you have to. I don't know what the gameplay mechanic is going to be between you and this person who's hunting you, because she says, "Oh, I'm not like the rest of these idiots."
Well, it looks very
So-
player controlled, which is strange to me. It almost looks like another player playing that character against another player or something.
Yeah,
that would actually be cool.
Not certain how it's going to interact, but I don't think this is a game I'm going to play.
The trailer was
But
great.
it looked cool.
Yes. And again, not in next gen way, but somebody doing a take on something that's very interesting that I haven't
Yes.
seen attempted before. So that for me was really cool. I don't think we can go too far without mentioning how amazing Miles Morales Spider-Man looked.
Absolutely. Especially the part where he was just walking around in the celebration. It was really detailed. Like every single thing in the back of these carnival stands was fully modeled, really detailed.
And do you know what they had in there? Puddles.
With ray tracing.
Remember the puddle problem that everybody made a big deal about that wasn't a big deal? Well, goddamn it.
digital
They want
foundry.
puddles, we'll give them puddles.
Have you noticed Insomniac has put puddles in every piece of shit they can find now just to rub it in people's faces. But yeah, the density looked amazing, and then the combat with Miles's powers looked
it was
unbelievable.
beautiful.
Like, I was worried because you go, well, they gave you so much in Spider-Man. How are they going to do the powers differently? And right off the bat, just again, don't know what all the powers do, but visually it was stunning. It looked badass and powerful and impactful, and it just looked great. That was I don't need to see any more. Just give me that game right now.
I thought the fighting looked a little bit more fluid and almost dance-like too, as he was moving around during the fighting.
I think what I would counter with is the other Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man absolutely had that, but I think they've stylized his differently so it feels different. And my hope is somehow there's a 2-player version of the Spider-Man 2, so you get both characters and you can see the difference. I don't know if that'll happen. It'll probably be you swap between them and whatever. But the potential, that was amazing. I'm excited. Although I will say the likelihood of a power company having armed personnel
That was
seems
the only
a little out there.
I could not take that seriously. Like you already put Silver Sable in the first game, and now you're bringing an electric power company with fully armored gun.
Don't
people
mess with the electric company.
With
You pay your bills on time.
Like plasma guns, just corralling the streets.
Well,
like
let's give them a
completely
chance to do the story, and we'll see.
normal. Maybe it has something to do tying into the first game.
Who knows?
I'm a
We'll
little
see.
worried. Is this going to give electric companies some bad ideas?
Say hello to my little electric friend. All right.
All right.
So we've got the God of War teaser at the end, which was amazing to end on. We had a great kickoff with Final Fantasy. They showed a bit of what they're doing with PlayStation Plus, which was super exciting. I mean, that was
nice to see.
That was a big shot across the bow because you're not asking anyone to sign up for any more than they already have. And look at all the new value they just give you to be included. And then people who are getting PlayStation for the first time, which I don't even know who those people are. Everybody should have PlayStation. They would have a ridiculous wealth of games to be playing on day one on your PS5. So it's amazing. I thought that was great. I thought the price point, by the way, from a prediction standpoint, Itty had it right.
Yup, 500 and 400.
500 and 400, which is what...
It's really what we expected.
It's what the reasonable people thought, and that means that
No
all the
surprise.
hemming and hawing about price and what will Sony do, and Microsoft goes first, Sony will undercut them, that pricing was pretty much what made sense, and nothing really changed.
Yeah.
Their release date is the same week as Xbox X,
November 12th.
which is very interesting. So they're
Yep.
both coming out the same week. Pre-orders for both are basically going live like imminently.
We'll just see how well one does compared to the other.
Right. Now, prediction-wise, after pricing, we all failed.
Completely.
There was no Gran Turismo 7
Nope.
news. There was no Horizon news. There was no
Fat Princess news.
Fat Princess news and no SOCOM news.
All of our hopes and dreams were crushed.
Right. So we're bad at predicting is what we found out, and we'll try better next time.
Yeah, we'll just have to try.
Yeah, we'll still be bad next time.
I'll
too.
just pretend that they held all those back because they have so many announcements, like Fortnite, that they needed to do.
Oh,
that they
yeah.
couldn't
Like,
do
oh,
anymore.
hey, Fortnite's going to be on PS5. Yeah, they already said that. Like,
But I
5
will
months
say the
ago.
reason they show a Call of Duty and the reason they show a Fortnite is most regular people are not keeping up with all the news. They might only see this showcase because they didn't go watch a Call of Duty thing and they didn't go watch, some information on Fortnite. It is really to reassure everyone. Look at all these games, and they can certainly point at Fortnite and go day and date.
yeah.
You're going to play this right off the bat.
So a game that I just want to point out, because I just found it kind of interesting, was Hogwarts Legacy. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Because at first, when they first started showing it, I was like, oh no, are they going to just rehash the movies? That's going to be boring. Lego's already done that, so.
Lego did it.
Lego did it first. But they take it back to
1800s.
1800s, yes.
So they basically say, before all the lore you can make your own story and become part of the history of
and
Hogwarts.
I thought that was really neat.
That's a smart take. That's the
it
right
gives
thing
you
to do.
the school, but there's a much bigger world, so it's not like you're just trapped in the school. But I thought it was very...
They had a very convincing
Smart.
trailer of why you
Yeah.
should care about this game.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to find out more.
Piqued my
although I
interest.
still can never be impressed by the tiny little wands they swing around there. I don't know. It is what it is. It's not my universe. I didn't create it.
Honestly, the game might be a better place to get into the Harry Potter universe than Harry Potter.
It could be. It could be.
Because I find Harry Potter very hard to get into with its rabid fan base.
Rabbit.
So were there any other games that kind of stood out to you that...
So I did want to go over everybody's... so we were pretty excited, obviously. Were there things that were missing? Because I felt like there were things that were missing I want to see. Now, they may be still holding some information back because there is, even though they're right around the corner, there's still 2 months left, actually, to get there as well.
It's
So
hard
that's...
to believe.
Yeah, but so there's a lot of time that they need to kind of go over things. So there still hasn't been the teardown of the hardware that's inevitable. We would see the teardown of the hardware.
You
done.
haven't seen your user interface yet.
So I was disappointed not to see the user interface. I was disappointed not to see any backward compatibility yet. Although, again, I that's not to say they don't have a video plan to show a whole bunch of stuff and maybe it's going to spend some time on it and this wasn't the right
because clearly
format.
this presentation was really to show
It was
new
just like the
stuff
first one.
and
Show
really
you
good-
more reasons why to get a PS5
We got lots
and
and
when
lots
you
of
can get it
games.
and what it costs now.
Yeah.
That's all it was, right? It was like
Yeah.
a sizzle reel of constant hits, games for everybody, not even retreading a lot of the same games that we saw before. Some of them were
Mm-hmm.
updates, like Demon Souls had a really great gameplay. a showcase. Showed some really badass moments, and that's exciting for people who love that game. And it actually it looks very enticing. But I was missing backwards compatibility. I was missing UI.
I was also really looking for maybe a more formal list of what games are going to actually be out at launch.
Well, and there's mass confusion now after, right, this event, because again, I'm seeing pre-orders and dates for lots of games that might have been launch games, and now I don't know. They might be, because they're showing like Demon Souls' launch game on some websites, Sackboy, and, you know, obviously Miles Morales, and then there was like Destruction All-Stars, which we didn't even see.
I could see that being a launch title, though.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't have, I think, any gameplay of that in this.
No, well, they had it in one of the sizzle reels real quick, if you can pick it up, but nothing formal about it. And Godfall isn't on a listing yet, and that's always been said, but maybe, I don't know. So you're right. It would have been nice for some details, because there really wasn't much. They gave the details on the console, and now there's almost like this fallout afterwards of people scrambling and trying to understand, okay, what's the full picture?
Right.
And I don't know if I can't remember past console launches how clean this stuff was, because the media is so rabid now. You get more information than you could ever want, and far more rumors than you would ever see.
Right.
Obviously, in PS4, it was a little bit like this, but not as bad. E3 was pretty clear-cut, because they basically give you that stuff, then they give you the price, and then pre-orders, and then you had like 6 months to figure out what you were going to be playing on it. All right, that's not what it is now, and PS3 times with pre-orders was an absolute disaster. The price super high, and yet sold out everywhere. Everybody wanted that console that could get it. I mean, it was miserable trying to get it. You had packages that were $1,000 at GameStop, because you had to get 3 games with a console to even get something at GameStop. Yeah. So you had to drop $1,000 if you wanted one of their packages, which I actually believe that was one of the consoles I had to get.
We did. Geez. And then if you remember correctly, the games that we did not want to keep from the package.
I don't know if we're allowed to say this.
I can say it's fine, that they don't have our real names. Nobody will know. But you sent me into
because they always
Walmart.
say yes to a girl, because they sent it into Walmart and said we forgot the receipt and we got to exchange it for games we wanted.
And it's not the one my kid wanted.
Yes. See, that's what you need.
I don't know. I'm a stupid girl. I got the wrong game for my little boy. He's like, he didn't want this one.
But it works. It
works.
If I went in there and did that, they'd probably shoot me on site or something. I need a cute girl to be able to go do that for me.
And I wasn't even
remember what the games
aware.
Were, but...
one was a sports game. It's always a sports game.
Well, were you even around? I don't know. Was he even there? I don't know.
I was a baby.
You were a baby.
Were you even around? Did you exist? Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I'm not sure how this is going to go, because we are only 2 months away, and I'm still not exactly clear what I can order and what I can't. I don't know that it matters. There's going to be lots to play, and so if stuff comes out a couple weeks after launch or anything, it'll be fine.
That's totally fine. Just give me the PS Plus bundle. I'll be perfectly
What
good.
I don't understand is, if you do have these games ready to go at launch, I don't know why you're not screaming from the mountaintops at Sony and saying, look at all the games we have at launch. Right?
I know. But we've talked about Sony's marketing baffles me sometimes. It really just baffles me, because they just don't get the right information out there that they need to.
Yeah, but Sackboy doesn't have a release date at all. They would have said it if it was actually a launch game by now. That would have been...
Well, you would think so. But they still only said Miles Morales is a 2020 holiday. They still,
Sony needs to brag about their stuff more.
Well, they got a lot of people bragging about it, which is fine. But yes, I agree. What they need to do is they need some clarification quickly, because trying to get clarification from lots of different unnamed or non-reliable sources is not the way I want to get my news about what's coming out and what I'm going to spend my money on.
Right.
Absolutely not. So
the very last thing I think we should cover is that they went over PS Plus and how they're changing that for PlayStation 5, but there was still no mention of PS Now.
None at all, which definitely disappoints me, since I was seeing signs that they were ramping up for something, and they could still be ramping up for something, but I would think if this was coming day and date with the PS5, whatever they are or maybe are ramping up for, they would have announced it here.
Maybe they don't need to. Maybe they're still ramping up PlayStation Now, but they're not, you know, they're just making it a better service.
Yeah.
They still don't know how to market PS Now. One of my predictions or one of my hopes was they were going to bundle them together.
But it seems like they just did something even better and just put games on PS Plus.
The PS Plus collection is excellent, right? To make that even sweeter, why not put your backward compatibility for PS1, PS2, and PS3 to rest somehow by adding PS Now in there for a higher bundle?
And maybe they didn't want to do it right now because they were thinking if they had to do something like that, then they would need to increase the price, and they didn't want to do that.
They would increase the price. They'd give you a bigger bundle. They don't have to increase it for everybody. They'd give you a secondary tier. But I would say that you're right. You don't want to over-message. You don't want to layer 1,000 things on this. Like, some people might be a little disappointed that there's not more game announcements here. They're going to need to. They're going to be announcing games all throughout the year. You know, and even next year. It's like you don't put everything out there at once, and then you have no announcements for a year. Right? That's why you tease God of War, and you still haven't shown gameplay of Horizon because you need those wow moments coming. And you're going to have those.
Absolutely.
So.
And I think what they could be doing a little bit too is with the PS Plus collection, okay, let's give people a little bit of taste of what this would look like if you had PS Now, a little bit.
Well, I don't know that that's a taste of PS Now. I think it's they're creating more value for their users. They're trying to get people. PS Plus has got 45 million subscribers, right? PS Now has about 2 million. So if you want to get more people on a subscription and one that they're happy with, putting it into PlayStation Plus first and ramping up the value, especially to counteract the narrative that Game Pass is the best value. I mean, you're going to be hard pressed to go look at Game Pass and find as many great games as just dropped on PlayStation Plus for no additional charge, no long monthly subscription, and you can even sign up for a year at, like, we last time we got PlayStation Plus, it was $30 or $35 is
on
what
sale,
I picked it up for a year.
Well, I mean, full price for a year is $60. It's a single game, and they're dropping 18 high quality games on you for free.
Guarantee they're going to add more as time goes on too.
Oh, I'm sure.
So very exciting, very cool stuff. I thought the show was great. It did what it needed to do. There weren't too many lulls. There weren't too many games shown that weren't that interesting, and I think that really went to show exactly why you need a PS5 come this holiday.
Yeah, and I really appreciated the fact that they were just basically showing the games, and you didn't have a lot of people talking in between and being.
I did get
cringy.
worried. I am going to say this. I did get super worried when the first thing we saw was PC. Playing on PC, captured on PC, but representing PS5.
Yes.
I'm like,
but that was
no.
only for Final Fantasy
only
16.
one.
Which is fine, but man, I got scared for a second, and then they said everything after this is now kind of like, thank you, let's keep doing this. Show me all your gameplay.
I double checked every single game except for Final Fantasy that they showed was PS5 live capture.
Which again, not to go off on a tangent, we haven't seen anything from Xbox on it. It's crazy to think of that. We're 2 months out, and almost no one's talking about the fact that we've seen zero.
I want to see Series
scares me.
S play, and I want to see Series X play. I'm very interested to see what they look like.
Well, it's kind of silly because there's no way it looks bad. The Series X is a great piece of hardware. The Series S is questionable, but the Series X is a great piece of hardware. Maybe they just have nothing to showcase, and maybe that's the problem. I don't know. We digress. I want to thank you for listening. If you've made it this far, this has been a very long video, but you can tell we're very excited about what we got to see and what PlayStation showed. If you liked, please like the video, subscribe if you want to keep us going. We'd love to see more subscribers. Itty would love it as well. And we want to thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.